Alright, what is up everyone, and welcome to my first impressions and analysis video of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. I'm going to be going bit by bit from pieces of the trailer, and we're going to analyze everything until we can get, so let's get started. Alright, so the trailer for the first ever 6th generation game of Pokemon starts off with little Pikachu telling the whole world that he has big news, and you would think it's pretty unexpected, because you see a Pikachu, you would think it's the Kanto region or something else, or some other region, because it's the mascot of Pokemon. But then Pikachu, you see him thunderbolt all over the entire world, and you know where it starts off, it's actually in France. And Pikachu was actually standing on the Eiffel Tower, which indicates that this game is going to take place somewhere in France, because each game takes place somewhere around the world, but it's referencing it. Like, for example, Castelia City in the Unova region took place supposedly in New York, according to Game Freak and all that stuff. So now it looks like we're gonna have to live in France and in Paris, I guess, or wherever the Eiffel Tower is. So first off, the game is for the 3DS, which means everything is much better. It is, the entire overworld is in 3D, and it's obviously a lot more powerful. So here you have a picture of a city, and you can see at the back it kind of looks like the Eiffel Tower. They're obviously not going to say it's the Eiffel Tower. They're going to say it's the Pokemon Tower of Spikiness and all that stuff. So, you can see this is the world and this is the overworld. This is it. It's not a cutscene, because the 3DS is much more powerful. You don't have a little sprite of your trainer just walking around. It's actually like if you're playing like one of the Pokemon Coliseum games and XT Gale of Darkness. I don't know why this screen right here kind of reminds me of Pokemon Coliseum and those. So I don't know why. And also in the trailer, we got the first glimpse of the starters for the 6th generation. We do not know what the region name is, but we do know the names of the starters. And the first starter being named Chespin, this is the grass starter. You can see he looks a little bit like a squirrel wearing a hat or something. I'm guessing that they got the name Chespin from chestnut, because obviously squirrels, they eat like nuts and stuff, and pin probably just because of it's kind of like a bowling pin, I guess. I don't know, not sure about the pin part, but you can see this screenshot of him inside a battle. You could see the entire battle scene is completely remade also, because everything's in 3D, and the camera is something I should point out. It is completely different. I'll point out a little something right now. Here you can see what looks like solar beam being used on a poor little Magikarp. Why would they choose Magikarp? It was probably like a little joke or something. Why Magikarp? It got owned by a solar beam. So even the moves have different animations now, and they're all in 3D as well. So right here you could see Chespin going up against a Golurk, but the funny thing is that your Pokemon is Chespin, but the camera, it changes around the entire battle throughout the battle. It changes that throughout the battle for the entire battle. So you could actually get an angle of every single part of the battle, and you could also see that Chespin, I was gonna say Chestnut, also has some dark type moves. You can see this one right here. I don't know what it is. Kind of looks like Shadow Claw. It could be something else because it attacks multiple times, and in the trailer might be like Shadow Sneak. I don't know. I'm not so sure. That could mean that Chespin evolves into a Grass Dark type later in the future. And then we have Fennekin, the fire starter. It looks like a fox, and it is actually based on a Fennec, which is a type of fox. And it looks very much like it. If you Google up a picture, it's like a very small fox with huge ears. And there you have it. But Fennekin has a bunch of ear hair though, so he's the fire starter. And basically he just looks like a regular fire type, but in the trailer you could see that he kind of used what looks like a psychic type move. I don't know what it is. No one knows yet, but it does look like a psychic type. Here you could see it use flamethrower or something like that on poor Munchlax. Poor Munchlax is getting burned in the face, but he should be happy because his model is in 3D. And you could all see the Pokemon in the battle have little platforms under them, which stands for like the little circles that were under in the previous games. So that psychic type move might be a psychic, it might be confusion, I don't know, it might be extrasensory, whatever you want to call it, which could indicate that it might evolve into a fire psychic type. We don't have a fire psychic type, only Victini, so this could be the first one that is not legendary. So the next and last starter is Froakie. Yeah, that's what it's called. I mentioned this in like the previous video. Pretty much almost every water type except Piplup, water starter, is a reptile. Squirtle, he's a turtle. Totodile, he's a little crocodile. Then Piplup isn't, because he's a little penguin. And we also have this guy, he's a frog. I don't know, that counts as a reptile. It's not, it's probably like amphibian or something like that. Then Oshawott isn't either, forgot about him. And then I'm missing one, Mudkip. I don't know what it is, like a mudfish Pokemon. He might not be reptile, but who knows. So you have a little close-up of him. He has a huge face, and you can't really tell what he might evolve to in the future because he doesn't, he only uses water type moves and another move which kind of looks like extreme speed. I am not sure because he just attacks out of nowhere. You can also, he has little white spots in his nose and also in his back. He is filled like with a white fluffy thing. No one knows what it is. It might be like a cloud. If it is a cloud, it might indicate that he might evolve into a flying water type. We don't have many of those. I believe the only one is Wingull and Seagull. That is water and flying. So he might be pretty. It might be pretty cool. We have a flying and water starter because then you won't have to worry about teaching someone fly and surf. You could just teach it to the same Pokemon. And here you can see Froakie getting near Patrat for an attack. You could also see that he does not have his platform under him, which means he moved out of his platform to attack him, and that hasn't been seen in the previous games. It's just an animation of it attacking from its platform, but Froakie here, he moved out and attacked, kind of like in Pokemon Battle Revolution. They actually get up close to the Pokemon and attack. And also you could see whenever you reach a wild Pokemon in this 3D overworld, you get a close-up right at them. It's like a wild Pikachu has appeared or something. So it's pretty cool. Now that you have random encounters, you could get like a nice screenshot of their face and stuff. And you have poor Saida getting burned up what looks like Inferno. It might be something else. It looks fire type and it probably is. And you could also see that whenever an opponent gets hit, they do like a little animation that they do get hit. Like they cry and they're like, oh, they cover their face, or they wink and they grab their nose or something. So that is something very new. And also gyms. Of course, we have this, which looks like a spider web, and if this is a gym, that means that we could have another bug type gym, and I really don't like bug types. So if this is a gym and it is bug type, then Fennekin might be a good choice. But then again, we might have other gyms that Fennekin might not be good against, which is why you should pick wisely. And here you have what looks like Focus Blast being used on Dratini, and you can see Dratini, he's like covering his face, trying to cover his face without his arms because he has none. So that's pretty cool. You don't get the sprite just blinking and getting like a little animation, and they lose their health. And this might be another gym, I don't know. It looks fire type, so if you choose Fennekin, it might not be a good choice. So that is why one of the starters, that's the one you need to pick wisely. And I'm not sure this is a gym in the first place. It might be like the Elite Four. It kind of does look like when you go from one room to another. And then of course we have the Legendaries. Here is the Legendary for, I'm guessing, is Pokemon Y. He is a huge bird that is red and dark in color. And he is glowing, so my guess is that he's a flying and dark Legendary. So if he is for Pokemon Y, which I'm guessing he is because up in the sky he makes a huge Y, no one noticed it. You can see his feet, and then two of his wings are his hands, but then the one that's going in between his legs also looks like a hand, but he can't have 3 hands. I don't know. No one knows. But I really do like this Legendary more than the X one you will see in a bit. I'm guessing this one for Y again because he makes a huge Y right there. And then the other one we have is this one. This one, you could see an X in his eyeball, which pretty much indicates that he's going to be for Pokemon X. Now personally, I don't like this Legendary that much if he is a Legendary, because I really don't like his little style here. He's supposedly a deer. Well, that's what it kind of looks like an antler or something. And I don't know what type he's gonna be because he is a deer and he's in the middle of the forest, so he might be grass type. A grass type Legendary, I don't think we've had those. We have Shaman and Celebi, but I personally don't like this guy that much because we've had so many deer looking Pokemon in their 4 legs. Like in the last generation, you got Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion, whatever, and then Keldeo. I really didn't like those Legendaries. They look pretty dumb. Not really. They're not that good. I don't know why. I just didn't like them. So that's my analysis. Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Make sure to leave your comments, your impressions, what you think of the game, what you think of the starters, and what you think about the legendaries. So this game is going to be coming worldwide October 2013, which basically means that the game is going to be released at the same time in the entire world. So Japan doesn't get an advantage this time. So that is it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.